Welcome back to another video here for D1. It's been a bit since I posted anything. I've been waiting on footage from other people, and I've had a crap ton of stuff in real life that I've been catching up on. But I'm finally getting around to posting some stuff. I have the Indy race that I'm still posting, probably in the next day or two, I'm hoping. Plus some stuff on the second channel that I'm getting ready to post. But we are here at Pocono today, a track historically I've been good at. Last season, Tanuki stole the win at the end to catapult himself into the round of 6 and eventually win a championship. He's looking to do something like that again today, but I'm still searching for my second win of the season. I've said it multiple times with people in calls. I'm looking for a second win, and this is a track I felt confident about getting that second win. So, like, sub, all of that. I don't mention this a lot. I put it in the description. Live streams are on my Twitch, which you can easily find in the description, as well as this YouTube channel. I go live on here as well for the races. But with all that said, let's get right into the video. So what you will notice right away, we're pacing at this track. I did get on pole as well, which was semi-expected for myself. I felt fast this track while practicing. I don't get a very good start though. Hank was able to push Iron out in front. On the start, they go 4 wide behind me. I'm able to get side by side with Iron as Tanuki goes to my inside. Now I've got Doge in the middle line pushing me. Smile making it 4 wide again. Is going into the tunnel turn, the hardest corner on this track. We just about went 4 wide. Red font now up here all of a sudden. He's not going to leave me enough space. There's Rover in the background spinning out. And we've finally gotten a little organized. Now as Tanuki slams into red font for the lead. Is now I have to fight against Smile here. That's something me and him have done a lot of recently. There's been a lot of on-track racing between me and him. He has found his stride on ovals and is finally getting some good results. It used to be road courses you'd see a possible fight between me and him, but now all of a sudden it's becoming some ovals. Is he's now looking to go and pass his D3 teammate in other leagues before Red Font, but all three of us kind of mess up the corner. We lose touch to Tanuki. I'm now looking for a move to the inside of Smile here. I get to his quarter panel, rough him up a tiny bit, but nothing to wreck him. Is now I'm side by side down one of the longest straights here in NASCAR, going into turn 1 towards the next longest straight. As Red Font goes high, I think Smile got into a little bit. I get into Red Font a little, get loose, but I am able to save it pretty easily. I get back on track pretty quickly. You see Queso going to get a huge run off of us. He's going to force 3 wide there for a sec. I'm able to clear Red Font. Gave enough room. He could have got through the corner without hitting the wall, but I did clear up so that nothing happened. But this is the moment my internet decided it didn't want to have fun today, and it cut out. So what you're about to see, I had no clue happened.
Early shortstop here. Beat on trouble, turn 1, championship contender. Oh, he takes Red Font with him. Both of them into the wall. That's Kingotronics and others. They keep going. They're saving it, but King is loose. Rover around as well. Still wrecking. Beatog is having internet issues. He's out of the track now.
Alright, so yeah, I lagged out as you saw. You see, even in the Roblox chat, I said internet. So I merged back here right behind Queso. Is a pretty good spot to merge for me. Is I was technically ahead of Queso, so I could have gotten a bit of a better merge and been ahead of him. But this screws up my pitting strategy, because what I was going to do was I was going to run it as long as I possibly could in this stage and see what the fuel mileage on this car was in a race situation. As now you see Queso's going to pit in front of me, but I wanted to see what the fuel mileage was in a race situation, but I'm not able to in this race because of me leaving. I now have to come in and pit whenever other people do, since now technically I can make it on without stopping. 'Cause now I make a move to the outside of Smile. See Tanuki way out ahead. I'm trying to get by Smile because I feel faster than everyone right now. I feel faster than Tanuki and Smile. So now I'm going to get in the wall trying to pass Smile on the outside of the tunnel turn. Not a very likely move, but that is something I have figured out in MWRT, is finding a way to use an outside line in any track. I've figured out that the outside line is really good on the immediate corner exit of these games, and if I can be one of the only people that know how to run it well, I can get past people really easily. As now, see, I'm now past Smile, so we're going to cut ahead here to lap 11. I don't have a great corner. I have to slow up. Smile had an amazing corner. He's going to get side by side with me again. I was, as you can see, sort of running Tanuki down a bit, and the gap had increased to Smile a bit. But me having that bad corner, now all of a sudden Smile's back in front of me. I try and send a bit of a dummy on Smile, see what he would do. He didn't do anything. He was just frozen. Not literally, but he just froze. So now you see Tanuki come in. So I decided to come in as well, but Smile pitting with us speeds on pit lane, which means he will have a drive-through penalty, and he will have to fight to stay on the lead lap. But we're going to skip ahead to lap 14 here. I am up to Tanuki, who came down pit road with me. You saw the gap visually going into pit lane in the laps beforehand. It was like he was going into the tunnel turn right now with where I was. Now I'm side by side with him fighting for the lead. Well, not the lead, but what should be the provisional lead once people cycle out. This is technically for P3 at the moment, but I am now past Tanuki. I do wash up the track a bit in turn 3, which means Tanuki is going to be able to go to the inside here. Even though it doesn't look like he has draft, he does have something regarding draft that's going to allow him to get side by side through this corner. So now I use what I was talking about earlier. I use an outside line to try and get past. I don't get an immediate effect out of the corner, but I do keep distance with him, and eventually Tanuki just backs out of it so that he can take a normal line and not put me in the wall, but I still mess up the line, which means Tanuki gets to the inside here through turn 3. He'll most likely take the spot from me if he doesn't clear high, and I'm going to just go right back to his outside, just what I was saying. The outside line, finding a way to make it work. That's how I have been able to compete so well this season. I've been able to find a second line that I can overtake with that's not the ideal racing line. So now, I get away here for a couple of laps. We're going to go lap 22 here. You see Iron out in front right now. It confused both me and Tanuki. He should be running out of fuel about right now. But from what we know, he's already come down pit lane twice, from what we know. Supposedly, he came down and his pitting did not work, which meant he came down a second time to get fuel. Yet somehow he is the current leader. As you see, he crosses the line right now to start lap 23 and make it 3 to go. So, right now, me and Tanuki are aware we're just fighting for second, even though it shouldn't be for second. But eventually here, once we get to the end of the stage, I say something about it because we did have to fix last when I rejoined after lagging out. And that's how Iron was able to be this far out. He's made 2 pit stops. We've only made 1, and he's somehow 14 seconds ahead. It wasn't possible. When Dylan reset laps after I joined back, Iron was given benefit of the doubt of being close enough to the leaders that he was able to just merge back into the lead, basically. So, this is going to turn into the fight for the stage win, but neither of us really know it at the time. So, with 2 to go here, I'm just defending so I can keep P2 because I want to have a P2 over P3. But at the same time, I'm not going to be crazy mad if I lose P2 and get a P3. I'm not going to be too mad. But you see, Tanuki, better corner in turn 1. Going to have a huge run down the backstretch. He's going to look to the inside. I don't know what he was trying to do there. He made like a look to the inside, but bump drafted me as Iron takes the technical white flag of stage 1. But you see, I go a little high here through 3. Tanuki's able to just run his regular line. Tanuki able to stay in touch enough where he will be there if I make any mistake, and he could possibly go and make a move for the 4P2 and what eventually would become the lead. Because now I have to slow up on corner exit as I would have slammed the wall. Tanuki didn't have a great corner at first. Now he's just going to push right behind me. I have to get through this corner without screwing up too much, and I get in the wall, which means now I don't decide to block. Tanuki gets to the inside, and I have to somehow perfect the line. I got into Tanuki a tiny bit, and that's going to mess it up. Tanuki is actually going to come through to win stage 1 after the screw up between everything. And now as we get to the restart zone here for stage 2, Queso somehow got the lead. He I don't know how or why he was allowed up front, but he was. Um, Otherwise I would have been P1 off of pit road. But you see, on this outside line, trying to get past people, King slid up the track a bit, was able to clear me. As you see, the 43 just about goes around. Remember, the in-season tournament is still happening at this moment. The 2 matchups are King and Iron, and then Colonel and Tanuki. Colonel right there, Tanuki right beside me. Right now, King and Tanuki are in the next round, but Colonel's right there with Tanuki. Could get past Tanuki at some point, but she does kind of fall back through 3. It looks like Tanuki. Oh no! Who is that? It's Iron. Iron into the wall hard. Went to the pit entry barrels. I don't know what you want to call him. I don't know if he gets perms or not, but a big wreck for Iron. Gonna set him back in this stage. But now you see I'm trying to make a move on King. On the outside, I got help from Hank. My own teammate is now. I kind of come down on King. I break earlier than I think a lot of people do in this track in that corner. But now I send it really deep into 3, hoping that I can get past King. But he's just going to wash both of us up the track. And now Hank is going to make it 3 wide for the lead. I'm still nosing out in front of both of them. But none of us have draft. We're all just in a dead heat. We're going into 1. So now I have to try and use a good outside line to get past both of them. So now Hank going to wash up the track a little bit. King falls back. Now it's a matter of who will King help through this backstretch. Long Pond. He helps me a little bit, but into the tunnel turn. It's not going to take enough for Hank to stay with me until I hit the wall. That was worded kind of weirdly. Whatever. King makes a move to the inside. It's not going to work for him. I tried using the outside a bit. Both me and Hank in the wall. King still roughing both of us up right beside each other. As now I return the favor for Hank. I push him out in front at the moment. But I'm going to stick on this outside line because I know I can get around people on this line. That's until Tanuki decides to push King, which pushes me into the wall. And now I drop down to P3 with Tanuki right on my back bumper. So now I am back in a chase game. Is now I'm able to get past King after a push from Tanuki. Both of us able to overtake each other off of pushes from Tanuki as I send it deep into turn 3 compared to Hank. He gets the better corner exit. You see, I think that's Red Font pitting or going AFK something in the back. But now my mission is to get ahead of Hank here. He is right now near that cut line, I think below the cut line at the moment for these playoffs. As you see, yeah, 19 was trying to come in and pit, got a speeding penalty. But Hank is fighting to get himself a playoff spot. Is now I chase him down. I want a second win. I get in the wall again, but I'm still gaining on Hank. I'm seeing what I can do, seeing if I can even catch Hank. At the moment, he screws up a little bit by hitting the apron. I don't know what you want to call it. That curbing in turn 3 slows him up a bit through the middle of the corner and allows me to catch down the long front stretch here at Pocono. Is now I'm trying to force him into some sort of mistake where I can get to the side of him and I am able to force a mistake. He goes into the wall. I thread the needle on the outside and get ahead of Hank down one of the back stretches. Is now ahead of Hank here going into turn 3. I'm trying to just stay ahead, make sure that I don't get bumped out of the way like I just about did there. I'm able to stay off the wall, and now it's a matter of can I get a good turn 1 and get away from both of these guys. Because TNR, especially Hank in past races, has been very aggressive on his own teammates, and Tanuki as well has always seemed to push people at the wrong times in races. So you see there, Tanuki pushing Hank. But I'm out in front right now trying to get past. Tanuki gave Hank a push at the wrong time. Just what I was saying a minute ago. Tanuki goes and does what I said he likes to do, especially to his own teammates, thinking that they help, and it doesn't. So now down the straightaway, we're going to cut ahead to where I come in and pit. Lap 47 coming to lap 48. I come in and pit, and I have arguably my best pit entry of all season. You can go back, look at the speedometer. I think I entered pit lane at 64, still slowing down. I never got on the gas. I was on the brakes the entire time, timed it perfectly. It's something that I don't think I've really done all season. Was very happy to see it. I needed a good stop if I wanted to stay ahead of people like Hank and Tanuki. So you're going to see fuel at 100. And there I go. I'm released from my pit box. There they are, way back there. I believe that is Tanuki. Hank, I believe, got a speeding penalty of some sort, but I am seconds ahead of Tanuki now, and I am fully up to speed. I'm going to run away with the stage from Tanuki through turn 3. I'm going to come through on the front stretch to take stage 2. Is now we get into the stage where there can be some fuel strategy. It's another stage. Is now I was the control car there. Red Font jumped the start, and now he's gonna be way out in front on this restart. I didn't go right away on purpose. I wanted to get someone to jump early, and that was Red Font. But no penalty is going to be assessed at the moment for Red Font, as there is a wreck in the back. It's King. King's going to go around by himself. That is not going to help him at all. Is now Red Font back up front. He's going to mess up the tunnel turn a bit. Is now you're going to see Smile go around. Hank's also around in the back. I believe he collects a couple others. There were 2 cars for sure around. I think 3 total now. Caution finally comes out. Oda questioning whether a caution should have been called or not, which was very fair. Is now this next restart here. Not even the restart. This was a pivotal moment in this race. I decided not to pit. I was thinking back and forth whether I wanted to pit. You saw 3 cars in the very back all pit. That is King, Queso, and Oda. Queso, very notorious for saving fuel in these races. See, on this restart, Red lost the control car and went before the restart zone. Nobody was ready to go. And Red Font still somehow messes up the restart zone control car stuff. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know how you can jump the restart as a control car, but somehow Red Font has managed it. But back to the fuel thing. Queso's notorious for being able to save fuel. We've seen Oda save fuel in D2 races this season so far. He got his sole win on a road course based off of fuel strategy. He was coasting to the line and barely won the D2 Sonoma race, but it was because he had the right fuel strategy and was able to win it off of that. But the amount of fuel I said we could run coming into this race was 21 to 23-ish laps on a single tank. You saw in the second stage, I came in on lap 47 heading into lap 48. That was a lot of laps. That was 23 laps on fuel that I was able to run. And we went green with 22 laps to go, which means those guys might have enough as long as they don't burn a crap ton of fuel. You see, Tanuki comes in. I don't know if it was because Red Font faked it and Tanuki came in for it, but Tanuki has come down the pits. What feels kind of early is now. Oh my gosh, the 10 has a pass-through penalty. He sped on pit lane. This is huge for the in-season tournament as there's a wreck in the back. It looks like only one car is fully around, but there's a wreck. I believe Queso was a part of it. He said he's freezing. I want to say, looking back at a replay later, it was Queso that wrecked. So there goes one of the people that I was talking about for fuel saving. Is now, sorry, I'm going to have to talk about something else here. The move on the outside here for me, able to get clear of Smile and Iron very easily. But back to the fuel. Queso now is burning extra fuel to get back up to speed. He might not be able to make it. You never know. King, I believe, went around earlier, which leaves just Oda out of those people to still be truly racing. And he is in P6 right now, which is kind of weird to say. King is somehow ahead of him. I believe it's probably because of a merge. But Oda is the only person out of the 3 that decided to pit under caution that has not wrecked. Is now I dive it deep for the lead. Red Font decides to pit right as he loses the lead. He goes in the grass and actually just about loses it. But back to some in-season challenge stuff. There you see Tanuki. He came through for the second time. It's now a lap down. You see the car ahead of us right now? That is Colonel. Colonel is at the moment beating Tanuki. The current fights are Iron versus King again, and Colonel versus Tanuki. Iron obviously leading the King versus him one at the moment. You see Iron, he's actually taking the lead right now after me and Smile messed up. And then Tanuki and Colonel. Colonel leads that now after a costly mistake from Tanuki speeding on pit lane. You see, here come the 2 leaders. They're going to come down and pit. Neither of them look to have speeding penalties that time. See King behind me looking to pit this time as well. He has the pit marker notifier, but this is also when my recording decided to stop, so we now have Daytona's replay footage to use this for. Is now lap 66. I come in and decide to pit. I don't speed again, but you are going to see here Oda is going to come across to take the provisional lead for the race, and he is one of the people that were, you can say, fuel savings. Now, King, I believe, wrecked or something. I don't know what happened. We were told at one point during this, we were told after the race that there was supposedly cars flipping at one point, and there wasn't a caution called. King might have been involved with it, but again, King Rex is now Hank up on the wall complaining that there's no caution. I think him and King got into some, and there wasn't a wreck, or there wasn't a caution called. I don't know. But you see, here, lap 67, I am right behind Smile. Lap 68, I'm actually making the move on Smile. But you see, King is in this group with us. He, even if he is able to make it on fuel, he's already behind us. It's all on Oda and Queso. Oda 10 seconds ahead of Queso, I believe, is now. Smile's going to give me a run for my money here. But Oda staying out in front at the moment, 11 seconds ahead of Queso. And Queso is 15 or so seconds ahead of both me and Smile. But you see, this fight for the in-season challenge, Iron versus King, it's heating up. Oda still with that lead, but King is now ahead of Iron to take the lead in the in-season challenge. Colonel is still ahead of Tanuki at this moment. We are going to skip ahead to the final lap here as Oda, you see people screwing around in the back. Oda going to come across the line to start the final lap here. It's looking like he's going to have enough. He's got 170 left in the tank, 167 at the moment. It's going to be close on whether he can make it with fuel in the tank. But even if he doesn't make it with fuel in the tank, he has got such a gigantic lead over all of us. He's going to be able to coast to the line and win this race most likely. You see up ahead, that is Tanuki, but only a couple seconds ahead, it was Colonel. So for the in-season challenge here, it's getting very dicey as we saw King and Iron fighting earlier, but Oda is going to come through to take his first win in Season 8, finally get the 20 car into victory lane. You're going to see here once Dega moves the camera, Queso was able to also save enough after wrecking early in Stage 3. He's going to come through to get a P2. I was able to run away, but you see, Iron in P4. Him and King got into something at the end. King went around, and Iron was able to take it. Rover beats Redfont to the line. That helps his playoff chances. There's King coming through. Hank, the next car coming through. But you see, it's going to be Colonel to cross the line next, and she will upset Tanuki to make the in-season challenge finale at Indianapolis next week.